sheep on a pillow. So this is a pillow made of wool, and I want to make a sheep head on it, just for decoration, for room decoration. And let's see what I can have. So I take my favorite needle, it is number 38, and I start stabbing. So I chose the middle of the pillow, and I stab like this. You know, I create felting from wool for felting, and because of this I love this theme of sheep and animalistic design. I love it so much, and I love the sound. And now I am going to make some curls for the sheep. Some people ask me, is it a long and tiring process? I say yes, it is a bit tiring, and of course it is a long process. But so much pleasure on the other side. So now I take this, tear it, one end I stab here, and curl like this. And now I stab. And I repeat. Again, I tear some wool, stripe it like this, tear it like this. Stab one side, stab into, and then curl. Curl like this, and stab. But can you see that it is very curly? So, and it is very sheepish, so it's very good for my sheep. And again, and I repeat it many times. When I take some wool, make a stripe, so tear it, and stab into. So what I'm going to have, what I want to have, I will show you. So look, another one. Yeah, and I will go and curl the sheep all this space, and it will be like a sheep head. Okay, and what I'm going to have, I have one sheep head like this, and I want this one, and I want to make the same. And so we have our pillow. Take some wool, tear it like this, and stab and curl, and repeat this many times. So I curl it, like this, and so it will be something like this, and I stab it. For me, felting, it is a very fast way to decorate something, for example, I'm a teacher of English, and I learn country study, and I teach country study, and I learn art. So I learn now Primo Rinascimento, early Renaissance, the first Renaissance, and I teach this to students. And for example, for me, when I tell about some artists, I just take wool and make heroes, characters, for example, like Van Gogh or like Giotto. Or I tell about the time, and I tell about Dante, and I make Dante. And for me, it is very fast. So the fastest. I can't sew, I can't knit, and I can't draw properly. And for me, it is a very good way to create and to show something to children, to students, and it makes lesson more lively, more interesting. And felting it is the fastest way for me. And when I want to change something in my room, and you know that we moved, we relocated, and we didn't have much free money, and for me it was a good way to change something, to prepare for holidays. And now I got up and I decided, so I have this beautiful pillow like this, and I want one more, and I want to have it. And now I'm going to make the same, but a bit darker pillow. And and I will cheer up myself in this way, like this. And this Friday, at the lessons, at the lecture with students, we will study British literature, and we will study Lake poets, and I'm making some faces out of wool. And please, I say hi everybody who joined. Thank you for watching. And it's really interesting for me, so why you're watching Felting Lives, and what's your job, what are you doing, and what do you do for life. I'm an English teacher. Originally I teach English, and now I'm also an art teacher. I teach a bit of history of art and a bit of art, how to draw some simple things. And what about you? So tell me, what about you? And I'm really interested, and you can write in comments, and let's meet each other. I'm Helen. It's like my channel, Helen and Felting. And write What do you do for life? And what are you interested in? Hello, hello. Sometimes I talk too much and um, I tell things a lot, and I can talk, I can speak a lot. Maybe because it is some teacher's um, feature, or I don't know. But for me, sometimes when I meet people, oh, I'm originally I'm from Russia, but for 4 years we live in Montenegro, and I'm based in Montenegro now. Oh, I'm interested in all handmade. Till 36 years old, I never tried any craft. I couldn't knit, I couldn't sew. And my neighbor came to me and bring starter kit for felting, because she was a great felting artist. And she taught me how to felt. And I was so excited, and I started to do this. And I've been doing felting for 10 years in a row, every day, almost every day. Every single day I do felting, and I really want to try some crochet and something like this. And tell me, where are you from? You know that here in Montenegro, felting is not very popular, and people don't know what is this. And I was in Germany, and I was in some Waldorf school, and it was already about 3 years how I've started felting, and I saw how children at the craft lesson created some dolls out of wool, some Waldorf dolls, and for me it was so exciting. I was so excited, and I thought, if children could do that, so I want to do this as well, so I want to do it. And in Germany it is very popular, and I bought a lot of wool in Germany. It is shop Das Creative Hobby, and so many kinds of wool in Germany and in Italy and in Austria, but in Montenegro no. But now one shop opened in Herceg Novi. It is a city between Bosnia and Croatia. I live at the other end of the country, in the south, near Albania, and it will take about 3 hours to get Herceg Novi, but there is a shop with a wool for felting. Yes, wool for felting is quite expensive. It's expensive material, but I love wool that it's so like plastic. It's very flexible. You can do anything out of wool. But of course, for example, when I bake big figures and characters, for example, like here, like Dante, I try to use paper inside, or I make them on armature, on a wire, because it lessens the wool. And also I try to use different materials, like card paper, or some or old clothes. For example, I know that exactly I don't wear this, and I roll it and put inside the big characters. And sometimes I reuse. For example, I did something, then I took the wool from that character. And So it's now I have to make the end of the ship's face here, like this, and a bit more, and then I will make an ear. And I continue. You know that felting, it's we have a joke that there is English phrase step by step, but in felting it is stab by stab, because we stab wool with a needle. It is a very special, very specific needle because it has notches, and these notches helps to connect scales of wool together, and because of this we have a shape. Oh, you know that this wool I bought at the north of Montenegro, and this wool is very coarse, and it was washed, boiled only once, and there are a lot of dry grasses, there are a lot of garbage in it inside, but you know that I like the color, and I like that I can felt it very fast. I can stab very little and get something, because when I make shape, when I start making shape, I always use this wool, but you know, you see that there is something in it, and this wool, it's quite cheap, because you know that really there are a lot of sheep in the north, so it is Durmitor, and it is mountains. You know that Montenegro, it's incredible country, because now it's about 25 plus 25 on the seashore, like Bar, yeah, so the city of Bar where I live. So it's not city, it's a town, but it's on the sea, on the seashore. But if you go to Kolashin or to Zhablyak, it will take about 2 hours of driving. You will get into different climate, into different environment, because, for example, I know exactly that in Zhablyak it's still snowy, there is snow, and only 2 hours, only 2 hours of driving, and very, very different climate. And in the mountains there are a lot of sheep, and you can buy wool there. But for me, I learned Montenegrin language, and only now I communicate freely, and I just I was so stressed before, because it was relocation and many immigrant problems, bureaucracy and so on, and I was stressed, and felting helped me to survive. But now I can look around, communicate with people, and I feel not so anxious, and I feel calm, and I get acquainted with people. And also in the north, I even was brave enough to go to one man and ask him, could he sell me some wool if he had some extra wool, and he sold me a bit, and it was so pleasant. But I couldn't do that 2 years ago. Oh, from Australia. It's so far away. And is there much wool in Australia? And I'm really interested in crochet, and what do you do I know that it's a special tool, so like with a hook, and you do something like this. So I I guess so, yes. Crochet hook, okay. And you know that, yes, I agree with you that it's maybe hard at first, but it's worth it. Exactly. Now, I think that I have to finish here, but I will show how to make an ear. For making an ear, I take some wool, like this, and I make a flat oval. To make flat oval, I can use felting brush, or I can use felting net like that. And or here it's a big felting net, my pillow. I stab, and when we make something in felting, especially flat things, we have to turn all the time. So we stab and turn. You know, I would like to, yes, but I really don't know what kind of threads, what kind of yarn, but I want to try, for example, blanket or clothes, or with pleasure. For example, if you have some kind of master class or live or something, I would definitely visit and watch and learn. And look, so I stab and turn all the time, not to stab in. And now, look, we have already a very smooth surface, but I stab a bit more to make it really beautiful. And again, I tear and stab. And now look. And we have very smooth surface, very nice, but the edges are very fluffy and not so neat. And you know that I have a not very good habit when I stab it on my hands, by hands. But it's, of course, it's better to do like this. So when you do it on the felting mat, it is safer, but I just got used to do this like this. So and look, it's like this, and then I make it like this. But first, also I make it a bit, I add some a bit pink to the ear. And again, I don't take a lot of pink color, I just take a little. For example, like this. I guess it's enough. And I put it on the other side and stab. I stab, and look, on the other side we have these things. And I stab again and add some. It's very, when you add some color, you have to add some tiny pieces of wool, very, very little pieces of wool, not to spoil. Look. And I guess, so I'll take a little bit more. So I take always just very, very little, tiny quantity of wool. And stab again. And look, it's like this. And then I make it like this, but I guess I need some more color here. And I, again, very, very little. And stab. And now I do like this. Stab here. And stab it here. So you know that recently I understood that I really sometimes get tired of felting, especially when I make, for example, in autumn I took part in some project, and I made many things for animation, for stop motion. It was a big commercial, and I made some chairs, a lot of very little, very neat, very accurate things. Accurate, I mean that I had accurate measures, sizes, and when I, for example, made something more than a half of a centimeter, it was spoiled. And it was not about creativity at all. It was a really hard job, hard working process. And I was so sick of it, and I couldn't take needles and wool about a week after that, and I rested. And now I started to draw like a rest. I sketch something, or but most times I'm not tired of wool, and for me, especially after a long day, for me it is a relaxant, so very meditative. I sit and relax, but when I want to relax, I do something very simple. I make balls, or I make some felting pads. For example, it's just a set of wool, and when I go to master classes, I take them because we don't have this. And sponges, it is not very comfortable sometimes, and I make this, and I just create, when I'm very tired, I create these felting mats as a rest. Just step and listen to something, watch something, and it helps me to rest and to accumulate some energy. And I have a lot of unfinished projects, unfortunately. Yes, it's because sometimes I don't have time, sometimes I don't have strength, sometimes I don't have material, and sometimes I understand that no point to continue something, but I always I can take wool from some things to create something new, and but of course sometimes I'm very sad that I have some unfinished things. And look, and I want to finish here, but now on my sofa it will be two nice shippy pillows, two pillows like this, and it will bring me good mood, and I'm very happy that I'll have it on my blue sofa. And it took me about 30 minutes, and it gave me a lot of good vibes, and now I have to go to accountant and do some bureaucracy, deal with some papers. And I'm so happy to have this time with you to talk, and thank you for your feedback. And so let's meet again. And so tell me, Vienna, what's your name? So thank you so much. And so nice to meet you, Vienna. Nice to meet you. And so let's meet. It's great. It's so unusual and beautiful, because you know that there are a lot of Helens in Russia. So in Russia, Russian variant, it is Lena, Yelena. And you know that every second person it is Helen. And because I'm an English teacher, and when I went to London, people called me Helen, and people started even in Russia. And my husband, he calls me Helen, and I love this version. And I like unusual and beautiful names. So Vienna, nice to meet you, and let's meet again. And that's all for today. Bye bye.